in Bungoma County, one cash crop is spreading like wildfire amongst farmers in this western part of Kenya. Today it's all about Amaranth, and we're off to meet up with Sitabicha farmers who are going to take us through the process of planting and harvesting this highly nutritious cash crop. My name is Shiko Kaitani and welcome to Rescue My Business.
The amaranth crop, nationally known as mchicha, is well known for its leaves that are among the most nutritious of green vegetables. Its grain is equally nutritive and is usually ground into flour for human consumption. Despite its small seeds, amaranth can address food security concerns as a high-protein grain substitute to corn and sorghum. Some varieties of amaranth are, however, grown for ornamental purposes. Their foliage ranges from purple through red and green to gold. Widely recognized here in Bungoma County, amaranth makes its way to the top of business ideas for farmers. This plant, locally known as dodoo, has been feeding families here for years while earning them an income. Farmers like Edward Nabagi have discovered the personal and financial benefits of amaranth over the past few years.
Initially it was wild, but among the wild crops or the wild amaranth, they picked up the amaranth that seems to be whitish, and the other one is brown-like. Yeah. So when they tested, that the brownish and the whitish looked sweet. But with the time, as it reached 2013, it went into so many hands or so many households. So there, we started harvesting quite a number of kilos.
Various types of amaranth can be found across the world, with the most common in Bungoma being the golden giant, which is bright orange in color and can grow up to 6 feet tall. For Sitabicha farmers and the community, growing of amaranth 5 years ago was not an easy journey. They certainly have come from far. Not many embraced the crop at the time or saw its worth.
It was shocking to realize that amaranth farming was not considered as a major source of income to the farmers. And number two, it was actually considered as subsistence. You know, a particular day, farmers are able to dash out to the forest, harvest the vegetable, consume at the household level, and then it would end at a point. So our intervention at that particular area was basically to be able to open up the minds of so many farmers to see the business case, that other than the vegetable, we can as well get money from trading in terms of the grain.
The Anglican Development Services ADS Western Kakamega approached the Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust to help intervene in the value chain whereby amaranth was considered wild. The attribute towards the crop by the locals had to change since it had potential to earn them a good income.
So what is MES's interest in the amaranth value chain?
Amaranth value chain for so many years was never regarded as a serious cash crop that farmers can adopt and get their livelihood from. And through the Anglican Church based in Kakamega town, a number of preliminary studies were done to be able to identify another source of income, another source of livelihood for these farmers other than the vegetable itself. Because then you realize amaranth in itself was considered as a source of vegetable only. But through the previous interventions of the Anglican Church, they came to us and told us there is an opportunity of investment here in collaboration with other stakeholders and the farmers themselves to be able to get value out of the grain. And the Anglican Church came to us through a competitive process and gave us a proposal that was subjected through a competitive process again. And through that process, we considered that it was important for us to go and empower many livelihoods of over 300 farmers who are based in Bungoma, Kakamega, and Busia counties.
With the amaranth value chain starting to gain momentum, farmers in Bungoma area, for example, took on the crop as a viable business venture. But like every other business, challenges occur. For Sitabicha farmers, the lack of buyers or volatile market conditions were a real challenge. Farmers had little or no place at all to take their produce, discouraging many on the production of amaranth.
We also started looking for a market, and it was hard to find a market. Yeah, we had some fellows from Malaba, others from Nakuru. In fact, others could come from the border to come and look for that, because seemingly we had a technique of planting and harvesting that crop well. So 2013, the whole of 2013, part of 2014, we were just selling it on hawkers ground.
Part of MES's mandate is enterprise and value chain development. This means that amongst a wide range of offerings, MES steps in to link producers, who are the farmers, to processors who play the role of the buyer. And in specific situations, MES steps in to finance the processors so that they can develop and expand their business.
Our primary target is the smallholder farmer, who, because we feel for one reason or another, has more challenges than the bigger farmers. Their challenges range from access to financing, to extension services, to markets, even to just education on basic agronomic practices. So for this program particularly, we are reaching out to the smallholder farmers out there, any young people out there who are unemployed and they are tammacking every day trying to get a job in the city, and we are telling them that they can change their perception and consider doing agriculture.
For the Sitabicha farmers, partnering with MES through ADS meant that solutions were born, thanks to the various levels of interventions by MES, starting off with a market for their produce.
It is interesting to note that the price of amaranth has significantly gone up. Before intervention, you're talking about on average of 30 shillings per kg. Today is 120 per kg. Yeah, and it is through some of those interventions that many farmers are willing to come on board. It's also interesting to realize the interest is have been able to create along the value chain. Additional SMEs are interested to come on board and work with our farmers. So our role as an organization is to be able to facilitate that business linkage, so that even as they come on board, they are able to see that indeed the produce is there, and even as the farmers are producing, they are able to see indeed that the market is there. Yes.
When it comes to good agronomic practices, information is key for farmers to not just produce high yields, but quality yields. Ruben Gashao of the Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust tells us that amaranth farmers of Sitabicha and beyond needed the know-how on how to maximize their small-scale business.
We rolled out a number of training programs, capacity building training programs at the production level. The importance of those programs was basically to empower farmers on the agronomics required to bring the right standards accepted to the market. We were also able to help the farmers come up with the systems of correction, because ideally the movement of that produce from production to value addition or to the market, there was no existing structure in the beginning. And through intervention, we were able to create the system by way of establishing bulking centers, and by way of also empowering the Anglican Church based in Kakamega to be able to, every other time farmers are harvesting their produce, they have the capability to ensure that they have, they correct that from production to the next point of bulking.
Through the regular capacity building sessions offered by MES, amaranth farmers are now educated. These sessions mean that as a farmer, one knows how to best grow their crop, where to sell their produce, and more. Farming is the main economic activity in Bungoma County. and many refer to it as the sugar country. Even so, maize and dairy farming are not far behind. Interestingly enough, a common crop that you'll find in this hilly area is tobacco. For Edward Nabagi and farmers from Sitabicha, tobacco is a fast-growing crop that has been in their midst for years. But thanks to the introduction of amaranth farming as a business, farmers now have an alternative. One, he dares to say, probably has more benefits than tobacco.
With the tobacco, you must make nurseries. Earlier, in fact, this year, they are starting to make nurseries in May, and they will harvest that tobacco in December. So when you compare with the period, amaranth is fair, and the labor compared to tobacco, amaranth is less, because amaranth takes between 80 to 90 days only on the farm from the day of planting. Weeding is just once. But when you compare with the tobacco, when you weed almost 4 times, and that's money, and that's waste of time also.
In part 2 of the show, the Sitabicha community gives us a first-hand experience as to how it's all done on the amaranth farm, from harvest to preparation and where all that golden grain goes to. And of course, they show us what their profit margins look like now after their partnership with the Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust. Over in Bungoma County, we meet up with Sitabicha, who have adopted amaranth farming as a sustainable agribusiness thanks to Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust in association with the Anglican Church Development Services. Through MEST intervention, farmers have gone beyond seeing the amaranth plant as a leafy vegetable, and with the trainings received from MEST, they are focused on how to produce good quality grain from the amaranth plant. One of the reasons farmers absolutely love this nutritious crop is the ease that comes with planting, managing, and harvesting. Growth period is only 2.5 months, with only organic manure needed. And when it comes to harvesting, well, it's literally a pluck-and-go process.
Look like this. Yeah?
Wow, that's very easy.
Simple as that. But when it has dried beyond this, you cut using the knife. Yeah. You handle it this way. Then,
And I snap it.
yeah. Juu kidogo kwa nguvu.
Kani nimekula ugali. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Once plucked, the amaranth is thrushed and then goes through a process called winding before going into storage. It is here, at Mr. Joseph Munialo's pantry, a few kilometers away from Nabagi's farm, that farmers from the area converge and store their produce. A good deed that he does for the local farmers until they can find a storage room of their own.
We are young farmers, yeah? So we started recently 2013, and remember this is now 2017. So that period from 2013 to 2017 is very short. We've not developed a store. We depend on giant farmers that have constructed big houses in their homes.
Collection of the stored grain is done once in a week, and it is at this stage that the Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust comes in yet again. Partnering up with the Anglican Church Development Services, MEST has played their hand at supporting amaranth farmers not only to help them find a market for their produce, but with a processing plant.
This is a plant that is used to process amaranth grains into pure amaranth flour. Yes, we always get pure amaranth grains from the farmers on the ground, and then we process the the grains into flour, and then we market.
This has enabled them to take the raw material directly to the processing plant, where the amaranth seeds are turned into flour, which is then packaged and ready for sale.
We normally process on demand, like 2 times per week. But at times when the demand is too high, we process like 3 times.
When it comes to the sale of amaranth, farmers have witnessed an increase in prices. Farmers are now earning more per the kilo. Another intervention by MESPT. Amaranth is a crop that you may want to consider, as it has been proposed as an inexpensive crop that could be cultivated by people in rural areas for several reasons. This is because amaranth grains grow rapidly and their large seeds can weigh up to 1 kg and contain 500,000 seeds. It is easily harvested and you can harvest every 3 months from your plants. It also has high demand in the market due to its health benefits and is easily cooked. And so with this, what do you need to know to begin your amaranth farming? Assuming you have 1 acre, your amaranth crops can be planted twice a year and can be harvested 4 times a year. Amaranth crops mature in about 70 to 80 days, which is 2 or 2.5 months. Let's look at your costs going into amaranth farming. First, you will need quality amaranth seeds from a reputable company like Kenya Seed Company. You will need 2 kilos for the 2 planting seasons, of which 2 kilos will cost you 400 Kenya shillings. This will be a total cost of 1,600 Kenya shillings. You will need to plant and till your land 4 times a year at a cost of 3,000 Kenya shillings. The total cost will be 12,000 Kenya shillings. The same goes for harvesting and thrashing. And of course, when it comes to organic manure, it's absolutely free. Your total cost of production will be 25,600 Kenya shillings. Let's look at your revenue. Your average amaranth grains harvested from 1 acre should be about 800 kilos. If you do this twice a year, your retailing price will be 120 Kenya shillings. Your total will be 192,000 Kenya shillings. Amaranth leaves are also consumed as a leafy vegetable. This will bring you about 10,000 Kenya shillings. Your total revenue will be 202,000 Kenya shillings. If we deduct your cost of production from your gross, your net income per year per acre will be 176,400 Kenya shillings. Many farmers across the country have been encouraged by the government to complement or substitute maize farming with amaranth. This is due to the unreliable supply of the staple corn product that has aggravated food insecurity in the country.
If you consider amaranth, it has very significant health benefits to our body. And because of that, you realize that many of these people who are formulating flour, whether porridge flour, or ugali, they are very much interested to include amaranth as a grain because of the nutritional benefits.
With amaranth's similarity to maize, there are numerous ways consumers can enjoy the amaranth flour at home. It makes mouth-watering chapatis, cakes, donuts, uji and ugali dishes.
The flour is loved by many people because it's used by all ages, the under 5s, the youth and even the elderly. So we don't have a problem with the marketing of the flour because it's marketable, because even when you go to the shelves, supermarket shelves, you will find that most of the amaranth flour sells faster than any other kind of flour. And here we also have a huge market because most people come here to demand for the flour, because many people nowadays are so much cautious about their health. And you know, pure amaranth flour is natural and it's pure. We have not added there anything.
Amaranth leaves are used as a vegetable accompaniment to meals, with the remains from harvest being turned into compost manure or animal feeds. Amaranth, to many, can easily be dismissed as a weedy mess or a non-functional plant. Surprisingly though, it has multiple nutritional benefits for the body.
From 2013, we had some old mamas and old wazes that were having problems of arthritis. So we had already had a report that it's good. It's a good product that can help increase energy in their joints. So we started with a mama. She had a problem of knees. Then when we grinded maize, amaranth itself, finger millets and wimbi, and soybeans, we told her to be taking 3 cups per day. From there, that mama has never complained of those joints. It increases immunity in the body to enable these small kids to grow up earlier. And in addition, it also smoothens the skin because it's got very good fats. When you take it for about a month, you'll find your skin, when you pass it around like this, it won't make noise. It's slippery.
Smooth, like
Smooth.
a baby.
Yes.
When it comes to amaranth as a cash crop though, the amaranth plant has changed the economic situation in Sitabicha village, empowering its people through employment. Through MESS Enterprise Marketing Development, amaranth farmers here in Bungoma sell their harvest at 120 Kenya shillings per kilo and can harvest up to hundreds of kilos collectively in a month, most being consumed around Kenya, with a percentage of it going for export. Something that these farmers can call good news.
So we can just say thank you for them, and what we can only wish them, they expand their research. Let them not only remain with MESP, but they can also expand their research, because very soon I think we shall get so many farmers. In fact, they have seen us, we've come right now like this. Many of them will see us on TV. So they'll say, oh, this is Londo. It's now seen in Nairobi. It is seen in London. So many will develop that appetite of planting more. In fact, those ones that are planting, they will increase acreage. Yeah.
With the strong and progressive union between ADS and MEST, farmers in Sitabicha, Bungoma County have hope and have financial freedom to look forward to.
Well, that's all we have for you on Rescue My Business from right here in Bungoma County. If you would like us to do the same for you, simply get in touch with us through the number that's on your screen or like our Facebook page. Thanks for watching this show. I'm Shiko Kaitani. Hulalale Handi.